Do-It-Yourself Herbal First Aid Kit. Natural Remedies for Homesteaders and Families by Carolina Holistic Tea Farm. In an emergency, what's in your medicine cabinet? Today, we'll build a do-it-yourself herbal first aid kit. Trusted remedies from the garden, not the pharmacy. I'm Danielle Smith from Carolina Holistic Tea Farm. I'm a master herbalist, and today I'll guide you through building a real-world herbal kit that's easy to use, practical for families, and rooted in centuries of tradition. Why every family needs an herbal first aid kit. Modern medicine and healthcare is incredible, but access isn't always guaranteed, especially during storms, power outages, or emergency situations where supply shortages may be faced. That's why so many homesteaders and families are turning back to herbal knowledge. These remedies won't replace doctors, but they can support healing, offer comfort, and even prevent issues before they escalate. There are 7 essential herbs to include in your first aid kit. 1. Yarrow. It's nature's first responder. It stops bleeding, disinfects wounds, reduces swelling. Yarrow is a plant that is native to Europe. It can help you recover from a cold and flu, suffering from hay fever, menstrual disorders, or even circulatory disorders. Yarrow is a perennial that grows to about 3 feet tall, has white and yellow flowers, and the leaves are finely divided. You can use all aerial parts and the leaves. The common ways to use yarrow is in an infusion or an herbal tea, a tincture, and a poultice. The next herb in our do-it-yourself herbal first aid kit is common mullein. It is native to Europe and Western Asia. It can help with cough and congestion and is commonly used to treat bronchitis. Mullein reduces mucus formation and can even stimulate coughing up phlegm. Mullein is a biennial, meaning it will only bloom every second year. The plant grows to 6.5 feet tall and has hairy green-gray oval leaves, and on the second year will shoot up a spike of bright yellow flowers. The parts used from mullein are the leaves and the flowers. The mullein leaves can be used in an infusion/herbal tea, and the flowers are often steeped in olive oil and can be used for earaches. The next herb on our list, number 3, is chamomile, known as the soothing healer. Chamomile is native to Europe. It is a very aromatic plant, which means it has a great smell. Some people say it even smells a little like apples. Chamomile is slightly bitter. It is one of those herbs that is familiar to most people, but maybe not be the most commonly known for its medicinal properties. Chamomile can be used for digestive disorders, nervous tension. The parts used on chamomile are the flowering heads. You can use the flowers either fresh or dried. Chamomile is an annual, aromatic plant that grows to roughly 2 feet tall, has finely cut leaves with white flower heads. The most common way to use chamomile is in an infusion or a tea. The infusion/tea can be used in a bath for overstimulated, overtired children, or it can be drank to help calm an upset stomach. Herbal ointments can also be made to help with inflammation of the skin, and commonly used as a tincture to help fight things like IBS. Echinacea is 4th on our do-it-yourself herbal first aid kit. Echinacea can be commonly known as the purple cone flower. Echinacea is our immune system hero. We will turn to echinacea at the first sign of cold or flu. Echinacea also has the ability to counter infections, viral and bacteria. It can also help clear the toxins from the body, and it can be commonly used as a preventative treatment for upper respiratory infections that can be caused by colds and flu. The parts used are the flower and the roots. The flower can be used either fresh or dried. Some key features of the echinacea plant: it is a perennial that grows up to 4 foot tall. It has an upright stem with pink to purple daisy-like flowers. Echinacea is commonly used as a decoction. Now, a decoction is very similar to an infusion/tea, but because you're using the root of the plant, you're going to have to make sure you steep it for longer. They can use a decoction of the echinacea root to help with throat infections. Echinacea is commonly used in the form of a tincture, and that is also the root, and it is common for infections. But people also make ointments out of it for cold sores, canker sores, or it can be used in a tea for urinary infections. Number 5 on our list of your do-it-yourself herbal first aid kit is lavender. Lavender is a very popular herb, and its popularity grew in the Middle Ages. It was noted by the famous herbalist John Parkinson in 1640, and it was explained to expel and is good for the use of griefs and pains in the head and the brain. Lavender is native to France and the Western Mediterranean. It is commonly used to help people calm, and it can also be used for its antidepressant activities. The parts of the lavender that are commonly used are the fresh and dried flowers. The flowers are commonly harvested toward the end of their flowering period. Lavender is a perennial shrub that grows to about 3 foot tall. It has spikes of violet flowers extending above the foliage. The way that the lavender is commonly used can be made into a massage oil for headaches, can be made into a tincture form that can be taken for insomnia. People will even use lavender in an infusion/tea form to help calm digestive problems, and will even use it for indigestion. Lavender is always successful in helping treat insomnia as well. The 6th herb in your do-it-yourself herbal first aid kit is going to be ginger. Ginger is a very familiar spice that is commonly used for flavorings. It has been revered in Asia and throughout Europe during the medieval periods. Some people even believe it came from the Garden of Eden. Ginger has anti-inflammatory properties. It can help with headaches, joint pains, motion sickness, morning sickness. Ginger is native to Asia, and it is commonly grown throughout the tropics. It flourishes in fertile soils. The parts used in the ginger is commonly the rhizome or the root. The roots are the ones who have the highest levels of volatile oils or medicinal properties. Ginger is a perennial that grows to a height of 2 foot with lance-shaped leaves and will have spikes of white or yellow flowers. Ginger is commonly used as an infusion or tea, and that can be used for nausea. People will even encapsulate it and take it internally. That can be used for morning sickness. A common practice is to also make it into a tincture. To make it into a tincture will also improve your digestion. Last but not least, on our do-it-yourself herbal first aid kit is calendula, or known as the pot marigold or the English marigold. Calendula is one of the most well-known herbs in herbal medicine, especially here in the West. Calendula is antiseptic and has healing properties that can help stop the spread of infection and speed up the rate of repair. It can also be cleansing and detoxifying. The parts used are commonly the flowers. You can use the dried flower heads or the fresh flower heads. Calendula is an annual that grows to a height of around 2 foot tall with a vivid orange flower head similar to those in structures of daisies. Calendula is commonly used to make ointments or creams. The ointments and creams can be applied to cuts, grazes, and burns. The infused oils can also be used for inflamed, dry skin that can be rubbed onto the area 2 to 3 times a day. Calendula is also used as an infusion or tea that can help with fungal affections such as ringworm or thrush. You can drink the infusion about 3/4 of a cup about 3 times a day. Calendula can also be made into a tincture and can be taken with water 3 times a day to help cure eczema. How to prepare and store your kit. Always choose a small structure like a wooden box or a basket, and make sure that you put all of the things from your kit in amber glass jars. Make sure you label everything clearly. Make sure you use the herb's name, which part of the herb is in the container, and the date that you harvested. Make sure that you keep your kit dry, cool, and out of direct sunlight. How to use your herbal remedies. Well, let's break down some of the common forms. The most common form is an infusion or a tea. An infusion, you need to let it steep for about 10 to 15 minutes. In order to make a tea, you boil hot water and then you pour the boiling water over top of the parts that you are using. Commonly use 1 to 2 teaspoons and let it steep for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you're going to be using something like a root, that is going to be called a decoction, and you're going to have to let that steep for a little longer, for probably about 15 to 20 minutes in order to get the healing properties from the roots. But make sure, no matter if it's an infusion or a decoction, make sure you're covering those to ensure that all of the medicinal properties stay within your glass and not escaping into the atmosphere. Next on our list is a tincture. A tincture is using the parts of the herb and submerging it in alcohol, and you let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks, and all of the healing properties from the herbs will then be transferred into the alcohol. The tincture will then be taken by dropperfuls. You'll take 15 to 30 tincture drops and you put it in water, and you can drink that up to 3 times a day. Salves are going to be like lotions and creams and ointments that can be made using your herbs. You would topically apply a salve to wounds, bites, burns, and abrasions. Another common way to use herbal remedies is steam inhalations. You will add herbs like mullein to hot water, and then you can breathe into steam to help break up any of the phlegm you may be having. The last way to use your herbal remedies is in the form of a poultice. You will mash fresh herbs into a bandage and you will apply it directly to the skin. Poultices can be used with herbs like ginger that can help with inflammation. Make sure you're always practicing herbal safety. Always do your research before using any of the herbs internally. Start with small doses and always avoid using herbal remedies if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding. Some herbs can be powerful, but always make sure you're using them wisely. It's always best practice to check with your healthcare provider to make sure you have no contraindications, medical issues with some of the pharmaceutical medications that you currently use. Herbs can be used with pharmaceutical medications, but there's always a chance that they may interact. So always talk to your healthcare provider before starting herbal remedies. At the end of this video, there will be a link in the description where you can download a free herbal first aid checklist. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe